What's up, Justin? Yeah, man. The Harper, my toddler, is at my parents' house, so Charlie's asleep in the other room. So hopefully, if Charlie wakes up, we'll probably just end the stream. But hoping we can get some stuff in here while Charlie is out cold. She took a long nap today too. I'm surprised she's already asleep. What's up, guys? Good to see you all. Sorry it's been a little bit. Just been a really, really crazy month. Dude, I'm good, you know? It's been a hot minute, but yeah, I'm pretty good. I cannot complain. Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. Justin, I am a man of great culture. Giving some advertising to the Black Rifle Coffee Company. Shout out if they ever want to sponsor me. Ooh, the raid launched. Can do that while we wait for some more people to join up. Oh, Girl Scout cookie booze. Allie, I tell you what, I would crush some Girl Scout cookies right now. The Girl Scout cookies are the greatest. Go here, here. I remember being in Cub Scouts, we sold popcorn, and it was just like the most embarrassing thing to have to go up and be like, oh, the Girl Scouts are going to sell $1 million in cookies. Ooh, I got you, Dank. Don't worry about that. Swiftblade, how do I get more people in my guild? I'm trying to recruit people, and I need 3 to 4 because of inactives. I mean, it's tough. I'm not going to lie. You're going to be in a tough situation there. It's, you know, it's not an easy thing to do, because it's not just about finding anybody. You've got to find like good bodies for that guild. I just kind of post in recruitment servers and hope for the best. There's really not a good answer to that. Ah, darn it. Go. Ooh, there you go. You got Dank Ideals willing to join, depending on what the GP is. Look at this, man. You're getting recruitment just right off the live stream. That is perfect. Make sure you guys like the stream, and if some of you guys are everybody I'm seeing, yes, you guys should be subscribed. So please make sure that you subscribe if you are not. Ping you. Oof. Okay, this is not going to be a good score. Yeah, okay, we're not keeping that. I will say the discard and retry button. Nice, new relics for Sith Eternal. Dude, the 3PO event, do you have Nisa, Swiftblade? If you have Nisa, it's not that bad. If you don't have Nisa, it definitely gets harder. 100% gets harder without Nisa. But it's still very doable. I feel like the C3PO event now is so much easier. Because there's so much more in the game that you can get done. Sorry, I'm reading comments as I can't multitask, guys. I don't know if you know that, but I cannot multitask. So trying to read comments, play this raid, and do anything else is a bit much. There we go. I'm curious how my alt account will eventually do with the rate with C3PO, because I have a feeling like I know that strategy so well, like that I don't think I'll struggle nearly as much as I did. Okay, let's go over here. Okay, keep coming along. Keep going. Kill that dude. Yeah, the old video is definitely the better. I mean, the new one has Nisa, so it's fine. But the old one definitely has like the everything that you need. It's probably my most, I think that's one of my most watched videos, is that C3PO guide. It's definitely a very challenging event. It definitely can separate the wheat from the chaff. Oof. We're not scoring that well here. I don't know why, but we are not, and I don't like it. We're normally in like the 2.1 million range. Yeah, C3PO, I couldn't imagine. I mean, I should say I did it with way less gear than gear 12, so it really wasn't like that big of a deal. Yeah, Allie, anything asking me to do more than 2 things is a big problem. Unless they are drink soda and play Star Wars, I'm gonna struggle. Yeah, dude, guild recruiting, just throw it in the server, you'll get guys. You just gotta remember that you're gonna get a mix of people who, you know, it's normally best when you ask, like, hey, I'm looking for this kind of GP, and that way it just gives everybody a good idea of what you're looking for. I really needed to do well. I want to score. I feel like my Piet and Han have not been scoring what I want them to lately. Let's just do that. Okay, hit this, hit this. Listen, we just don't. I do not think as a man, multitasking is just like one thing I will never be able to do, unless it's like keep track of like 3 fantasy football teams at the same time, because I can do that. All right, we'll start getting into roster reviews here in a bit. I wanted to get some raid attacks out of the way. All right, let's keep plugging along here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, see, I don't understand, man. I just can't score more than like 2 million. Yeah. The problem is I know I won't score as well if I throw this on auto. There are definitely some teams I still throw on auto, but my top tier teams I definitely try to play a little bit smarter with. That's the one thing with this that I really wish was a little bit more intuitive, was like how to score more points would be nice. Okay. That's good. Okay, hit this up, hit that up. that was a waste, but whatever. Where are we going from here? There we go. Okay. See, I kind of feel like I always end up at the same point every single time. Like there's like a make or break point that like you either are going to win or you're going to lose, and there's no in between. Or like score well or not score well. Like I just always end up right here. Yep, there we go. We'll have to see, Jonathan. So we've got some channel members in the group here. So we prioritize channel members and super chats before we get into non-channel members. Just kind of the way that works. And that's also going to fit around the schedule of whatever else I decide to do on stream. So was hitting up a little bit of the raid there. We'll probably flip over to the free-to-play account at some point just to go through maybe a Galactic War. But let's start getting in here. So I think the first channel member that I saw was up here. So we have, I believe it was Dank Ideals just joined. Thank you so much. Jedi Master, my friend. Thank you, Dank. We've got to hit up DRX here. So DRX, we're going to grab these. Exonics. Let's see where we're at. All right. So let's take a look here. Okay, so this is I think this is the main account. All right, Exonics. So what are we thinking with the main account here? We've got Jabba, Slicker, JML, Sith Eternal. Okay. Are we moving towards, did we get the Ray bundle? Okay, we did. So we're still waiting on BB-8, Scav Ray. All right. Exonics, you still here, man? What are we thinking? Trying to see is there any other obvious things in here that I'm missing? Dank, make sure you drop that ally code. Ooh, okay, so you unlock Bane, Gideon, and Maul. You're close to Rey, Leia, and Profundity. Okay, so I think your first priority needs to be Darth Bane. Bane has to go first. You have Sith Eternal. You've got some of your other core Sith characters. I feel like Bane with your Sith Eternal will be really, really good. I think that should be like a big priority for an account of this size. I think you're going to be able to use your Sith Eternal plus Bane to beat far better teams. So for you, like, that's going to be a really, really good option. I think Maul, let's take a look here. I'm going to say Maul you ignore for now. So just ignore Maul. You don't have the characters to take advantage of him yet. We don't have the characters to take advantage of Maul. Not worth the resources for him yet. And I think I'm going to say the same thing with Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. You really need Scout Trooper in that team to make it work. So I would build Bane. I feel like Bane is just going to give you way more versatility to your roster. Of the two of them, between Maul and Gideon, I would build Gideon first, as I think right now Gideon is a far superior team. I mean, he's got his Datacron, which doesn't, which is kind of skewing things. But I think that's a character who I see being far more important in the coming months than Maul. Because I think with Maul, he's kind of had his time in the sun. He was, in the raid. So I think Gideon could kind of lead to newer, bigger, and better things. And then I know you said you're close to Leia and Rey, so I would definitely focus. I feel like focusing Rey would be a better option for you. Yeah. How close are you to Ben Solo? Because Ben Solo is the other side of the equation here. And how, you said you're close to Leia. Okay. Yeah, ooh. Yeah, so yeah, Starkiller's also sitting here too. I think you get oh, God, man. I think we get Bane first. And then I think you get Starkiller. And then we focus on like Rey and your Galactic Legends. You don't have Mandalorians to take advantage of Maul. You don't have you taking advantage of Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. I just think that Starkiller makes the most sense. And you have like baby Cal Kestis here too, which I know is Kyrotech intensive. But you have the ability to take advantage of Starkiller and make a really good team. So I feel like on this account, that's what I would do. I know you said you're close to Profundity. How close are we actually to Profundity? Yeah, so you're not close. So just so you guys understand what I mean by close, like you don't have a single relic on these characters. So you have like, you've got a relic 9, a relic 8, like you're a long way away. Because you have Executor, right? You've got Executor. I don't think we're close enough to Profundity yet to say, like, yeah, it's time to rush it. Especially if you're still able to climb to first place every single day in fleets. I don't know that it's as big of a deal yet. I could be very wrong on that, but I feel like we're not at that point. So I think for this account, get your Bane, get Starkiller, and then we kind of finish up those pieces from there. So Bane, Starkiller, and then between Rey, I think Rey before Leia, because you're so much closer. So I don't know. I feel like you have a lot of things to do in a short period of time. And just an FYI, tomorrow's video will hopefully help anybody who's bought Lightspeed bundles that is struggling with Zetas. So I'm going to be sharing some knowledge about that. I'm not spoiling anything for today's video. We're going to be kind of, keeping still on this. So what team would I recommend for Dash? Let's take a look. Dash. Oh God. Dash L3. Yeah, I mean, you don't have the optimal Dash team. So I would just I almost think you just run like a leftover scoundrel team with Dash. I feel like if you just ran like Dash with like some random scoundrels, you could maybe sneak a hold once in a while. But yeah, you don't have the optimal team. You don't have his Omicron or Zetas. Yeah, I think you just kind of run him. You could run him with like the Beskar or Mando characters if you wanted. But you don't have, the problem is you don't have Vandor Chewbacca. And Vandor makes that dash teams far more scarier. So, you could still use like Dash, IG, L3, Queel. I mean, we could go as far as adding Beskar Mando. You could add young Lando and Captain Han or Cara Dune, something along those lines. Just try and run like some scoundrels with him. You're not going to have the A team until you get Vandor, and then we can start kind of playing around with some things. That would at least be my advice here, buddy. So I'm going to go to Dank Ideals next. We're going to grab Dank's account here. Oops, let's go down here. Oh, Dank, did you drop the... I think you messed up your ally code, Dank. So DRX, yeah, I think all in all, you need to focus Bane first. You have the resources to utilize Bane to his fullest extent now. You can't do that with Gideon. You can't do that with Maul. Just leave them go. You are close enough to Rey comparative to the other GLs that I think Rey is the best option for you. Even without Ben Solo, I think you need too many Kyra techs for Leia comparative to Rey. So that's why I think I would prioritize Rey first. And I feel like Rey is going to be far more beneficial than a Dark Trooper Moff Gideon or a Maul team would be. So I think we just get Bane first and then we move from there. So now we're on to Dank Ideals. All right, Dank, what do we got going on here, buddy? What are we thinking on the Jedi Master tier? Is this the... Yeah, this is the account with the stupid Bodhi Rook that I can't stand. It's just so fast. Just so fast. I can't stand it. I cannot stand the Bodhi Rook on this account. Your Bodhi Rook is Relic 7, and we've got Jedi Knight Cal, Starkiller, Treya at Relic 5. What are we doing here? What are we doing? We talking about relics? I love I'm not gonna lie, I love the Relic 8 on Malicos. I actually really like that. So you need your next Zeta and Omicron. Okay. So what do you use Starkiller for? Could potentially be an option. Whoa. Dude. No. Yo. Dank. We need to have a conversation. Just tell me that this was you did the bonus pack and got 330 shards, and we'll leave it at that, right? Just tell me that's what happened. just please tell me that's what happened, okay? That's all I'm asking. I'm just asking you to tell me that. I'm just asking you to tell me that. So, Dank, have you considered... So, are you going for Jabba right now? Like, are we going for Jabba right now? Because if we're going for Jabba, I'm going to tell you to save your Zetas and Omicrons. Is Jabba the current plan? Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Yeah, wow. Okay, so you have that. Oh my god. Oh man. Um. Oh. Oh man. This is so tough because every Zeta you've said is awesome, right? Like Padme, Kylo Ren Unmasked. Which Kylo Ren Unmasked Zeta are you lacking? Oh, is unique. Oh man, yeah. Oh god, yeah. His unique is really important. Gosh, yeah. That okay. My. Okay. So I think you're gonna want Kylo Ren on Mass Unique Zeta, but you want all of these. So here's the thing, right? I don't think Padme is a good option because you don't have Commander Tano, or you don't have Ahsoka Tano Zeta, and you don't have General Kenobi Zeta. So you're missing the like important Zetas to kind of make the Galactic Republic team work with Ahsoka. Right? Like she's not going to be assisting without that. Then let's go to like Zori would be a good option. I'd be okay with Zori. I could stomach that, right? I think I could live with you doing the Zori one. Especially with how fast your resistance hero Finn is. Like you've put some work into him. So having Zori would be fine, but your problem is you don't have any Zetas on your resistance heroes or Finn. So now you're kind of in this really strange position. So it comes down to, I think in my mind, the Captain Rex Zeta and the Kylo Ren Unmasked Zeta. Those are kind of the two Zetas that I think we're sort of sitting on. I think Captain Rex will give you a far better like alternative, if you will. So I'm assuming it's going to be this right here. So with Captain Rex, you could do both. I think the only thing with Captain Rex that makes me nervous before I say yes, right? Let's do this. Before I say yes to Captain Rex, that's kind of where I'm leaning. Okay, so Captain Rex, we're gonna save the Omicron. I feel like you have to save the Omicron. You don't. Your Captain Rex Omicron is different in 3v3 than 5v5, right? In 3v3 it's clones, in 5v5 it's Phoenix. So you don't have clone troopers to really take advantage of his Omicron, in my opinion. They're low gear, no Zetas, which again, that's fine, right? Like I understand everybody's kind of in a different place, but like you don't have the clones to warrant taking advantage of his Omicron in 3v3. So I'm going to argue that you save that Omicron. I would argue you keep that Omicron and potentially use it for your Chrysanthemum when we eventually get Jabba. And with the Zeta, if you want to put it on Captain Rex, I'd be fine. But I think we really need to start saving for the Jabba team. Because Jabba's Zetas and Omicrons make a huge difference in the way that team plays. I think we're going to want to focus there before we go to other spots. That's just my advice. Yeah, I don't think any of the, even though the rest of the Zetas you mentioned are good, I don't think that you have the other investments to get the full advantage of them. So I think, so Jabba needs the Omicron on Chrysanthemum. And then he needs Omicron, like technically you could use him for Territory Wars, but it's just the one Omicron for Chrysanthemum for Grand Arena. which Zetas first? Good question. So we definitely want the Zeta on Coors Light Leia. Yeah, so you want the Zeta on Coors Light Leia. That's gonna make her assist. So here would be my this would be the way I'd look at it. You only need the Zeta on Kersantin if you're putting the Omicron on him. And then we definitely want the Zeta on Skiffguard Lando, because it grants the ally a bonus turn with his one special, which is super, super nice. So I would say Leia first. Then I think your decision comes down to, if you're going to equip the Kersantin Omicron, you prioritize the Kersantin Omicron. If not, then I would go for Skiffguard Lando. You can't really... You can try to use that team pre-Jabba. I just don't think they're as good. Like, you're better off using Coors Light Leia with, like, Boba Fett's lead. Because his leadership, they gain 15% turn meter whenever a thermal detonator explodes. So you can really take advantage of that. So I would personally I would recommend using Boba Fett's lead with Coors Light Leia. I feel like that could be really, really good. Because, like, I don't mind Leia's... I don't know what Leia's kit is. Does she have a lead? Yeah, like, Leia's lead isn't bad, but I feel like Boba's, with that turn meter gain, could be far more beneficial. Right? Like, this will catch people out, because nobody really knows about this. I mean, now everybody does. But you're gaining speed for debuffed enemies, which counts thermal detonators. And then you gain max health equal to your potency. Like, it's just, I feel like you go with Boba Fett lead, Leia, Kersantin, and then we kind of go from there. That'd be my advice for you. So, yeah, I think for Zetas, start going for Hut Cartel. Maybe get Captain Rex if you want, but primarily, let's get going on Hut Cartel, man. I feel like that's the direction that we need to be heading in. So, yeah, but stay tuned for tomorrow's video, guys, because I am going to be giving you a way to potentially get some more Zetas. I'm not going to say you're going to enjoy it, but, yeah. And yes, Hut Cartel. Oh yeah, dude. So yeah, guys, I guess people don't realize that Boba Fett's lead is actually solid. So think about this. Boba Fett's lead, you're going to get 15 speed for each debuffed enemy. You're going to gain 50% max health of the total potency of all bounty hunter allies. Then you gain 15% turn meter whenever a thermal detonator explodes. So combine that with, just hear me out, but combine that with, if you've ever used Zam, with her doing this, oh, it's crazy. That's an old way. It's like an old meta team, but I'm telling you guys, it worked, right? So Boba Fett lead is actually pretty solid if your opponent doesn't know what they're doing. You could do both ways. I think they each have their own strategy. I think from a defense perspective, you'll probably trip some people. It's either going to be a free 65 banners for your opponent, or you're going to get holds. Offensively, you're going to have to pick and choose the team you go up against, but it could be a good way for you to get some good wins on offense. So, we're going to move from here, Dank. So, if you guys, again, we've got the Discord. I've got to pin that here. Hold on. So, I do need a refill of soda, so we're going to get to best K Sever here in a minute, but gonna get soda, and I'm gonna post the link to the Discord. Let me make sure I copy this. Okay. I can't stand when I send messages. The little, like, reaction post on the side always messes this up. There we go. There it is. Okay. So there's the Discord. If you guys haven't joined it, go ahead, join the Discord. Give me 1 second here. Let me get some soda, and then we're getting to best case ever. Wampa is king, my friends. All right, best case ever. What are we thinking, buddy? We've got, okay, 8.9 million. Wow. All right, so this is a pretty advanced account here, man. Rey, Kylo. So we're missing Lord Vader, and we're missing Jabba. Interesting. Okay. So let's see where we're at with those. So really far away from Jabba. We do have Coors Light Leia because of Leia Organa herself. And what about Lord Vader? Where are we at? Okay, so we're miles away from those. Let's see. We have Ben Solo, Malgus. We could do with a Relic Zori. Relic Zori would help. Best case ever. Are we in chat, buddy? I'm just trying to see what your thought process is here. Ooh, okay. All right. We could maybe do some work on those guys. Yeah. Okay. Okay, good. I like the Bane and Seer Jinda idea. I was going to recommend your unaligned Force users because so your unaligned Force users that I would go for are these 4 right here. Visas would be nice. I'm not going to lie. These bottom 5 could be really good because then you'll have the good Star Killer team. So that could definitely help you. I really think that could help a lot. So... But I do agree with the Bane shout because, and this is again another account, guys, where I was giving the same advice to Exonics there, where, like, just for the sake of argument, if best case ever here was to go and relic Terran Malicos, he's got a relic Malicos, but he doesn't have Seer, he doesn't have Cal, he doesn't have Fulcrum, so he doesn't have the team to really take full advantage of Terran Malicos, but he's got all of the Sith that he needs to take advantage of Bane day 1. So going for Bane makes a lot of sense because now his Sith Eternal is worth significantly more. So I 100% think that's a very smart decision there to go for Bane. But I do love the shout of going for your unaligned Force user team because they are really, really good. Like, I don't even use Cal with my Seer Jinda team right now. I'm sticking him with Rey. But I think doing that then can kind of lead you towards Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, potentially, depending on what you want to do. But I think that could potentially lead you down that road if you're interested, right? I'm looking. You don't have Saw, so you could be a bit further away from that. But, yeah. So I like the Bane. I like Seer. I would definitely recommend building Zori. How long will it take for Bane to be in Proving Grounds? You're probably looking at a year. Somewhere in that time range. Probably about a year, right? Is it 9 months or a year? I can't remember. Is it a year from their release? But yeah, I really like Zori. So I think Zori could be another good option to relics, only because at a gear 12, the one thing you're opening yourself up to is her potentially dying just from like AoE attacks. So like if my Piet ramps enough, I could just delete Zori potentially. So I think Zori could be a good relic for you. And it would allow you to use Datacrons with that team, which like Datacrons can definitely make them significantly better. So I like that. I like that approach. I'm just looking to see, do you have... Okay, so we're not really worth going crazy on them. Okay. So then after Seer and Bane, what are you thinking next? Like, are we thinking of Lord Vader or Jabba, leaning one way or the other? Like, I think Jabba could be a really good option because you're just kind of... I mean, I know it's so weird to say this, but like, you're just short on Kyrotech. Like, you've got the shards. Because you're at 8.9 million. So you're in that level of Kyber. Okay, you're going for Jabba. So that's a good idea then. I think Jabba is still a good overarching goal for you because you're going to get good mods. I think he's a character that you can really use well in territory battles, territory wars, GAC. At your level, your guild will thank you. So that's, I think I would go, I think the Seer Junda team's still really good to go get. I think that's a nice, they're good in a lot of game modes, right? They really are. But I think Jabba should still be that overarching goal for your account. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'm going to go let Zeus out real quick. All right, Bubba, come on. Hey, look at me. Look at me. No diggity. Understand? Can you go up too big, bro? Yeah, so I think overall, kind of wrap this one up, Jabba definitely your best choice here. I think after those two things, because I really do love this team, right? I really do love this team. It's really, really good. I'm using these characters regularly in territory battles, territory wars, Grand Arena, Conquest. Like, there's something that I'm getting a lot of use out of, so I really do like that option. And they'll kind of keep you in that Kyber range while you focus towards Jabba. So you definitely have got the Kyrotech pain coming up, but I think it's going to be the best path for you. So that would be my advice there, my friend. Appreciate you joining channel memberships, buddy, by the way. I very much appreciate that. So if you got, make sure you join the Discord and link your Discord and your YouTubes together. I did want to touch back on DRX a bit, dude. I feel like Ray, of all the things that you were showing me that you were going for, Ray and Starkiller to me stood out the most as like, let's get those things going. I know, like I said, hey, get Bane, because like Bane just needs to be the big focus right now. And what I don't want players doing is in those final few days for Bane, I don't want you guys going in and starting to do relics and then you don't have Bane, because like Bane's gonna come out. And hopefully, I think he's going to launch, like, you're going to have, 3 hours to get Bane in for Grand Arena lock. I feel like it's going to be, 3 hours before he's in for Grand Arena lock. So, you have no time whatsoever to put Bane back in your account. Hold on. So I think Legolas is next, because Legolas, I believe you're still a channel member. So let me get Legolas's thing in here, and then we're gonna go for I gotta go get Zeus here because he's begging to come back in already. I think it's raining, so he's a little bit scared. Justin, you're not? Well, we're here. You're a mod, and that basically counts. So, Justin, what are we going for here? Is this one of the stupid... I know this is one of the stupid accounts. Justin, where's Captain Rex? Are we farming Captain Rex? I feel like Captain Rex needs to be in this roster. Ooh, should Maul needs to go with Lord Vader. You don't have a... So, I guess here's my problem, right? Maybe this is a better question to ask first. Is your Lord Vader getting holds? Does Lord Vader get holds? So if Lord Vader is getting holds right now in like your Grand Arena rankings, then maybe you make that Maul team. But if your Lord Vader is not getting as many holds, then I would suggest putting Maul with him. Because Maul with Lord Vader basically guarantees that most people aren't clearing that zone. But if your Lord Vader is already... like if your Lord Vader's already getting holds, there's no reason to add Maul there until you get further. But I think first priority would be get Maul. Because realistically, I feel like Lord Vader with Maul, if you have a doubt cron on this, like, I feel like with this, I would just throw Lord Vader, Maul with this on defense, and then you could bring everything else for offense, and it probably won't matter. Like, at 5 million GP, most people don't have the ability to be a Relic 9 Lord Vader. I don't love the crit damage mods, to be perfectly honest. Not a huge fan of crit damage mods on him, but I feel like at your level, it probably doesn't matter as much. So, yeah, I feel like you're just best throwing LV on defense with Maul. No one's going to clear him, and you can bring whatever the hell else you want for offense, and it just won't matter. Right? It just won't matter. So that would be my advice. Good luck with the Girl Scout cookies, Allie. I hope you guys sell a bunch. They're delicious. All right, so I think we're back to trying to look and see if I missed any other channel members right now. All right, so if we don't have any other channel members, oh, what squad should you do after Maul? Well, so it depends. If you build the Maul squad, you build Maul. But I would say you build, instead of like a squad, I would go get your Captain Rex. Okay, besides C-Rex. Okay, fine. CLS. You need CLS. You can easily get Commander Luke Skywalker with what you have. Get Stormtrooper Han to gear 8. Go get Commander Luke. You've got Han Solo. You should have the bounty hunters. Let me check your bounty hunters, but I feel like you should have bounty hunters to be able to get a... Yeah. Okay, so Chewbacca's Relic 7. That's done. That's done and dusted. And then 3PO and Chewie is an easy farm for you. And you'll have a very good Commander Luke Skywalker team. Again, you're an account like this is missing, like CLS to me is one of the best teams in this game because as a Kyber 1 player, I use CLS every single GAC, every single territory war, every single territory battle, conquest, like he just is so good. And I think at your level, even if you're just throwing that team on defense, people could struggle, or they're going to have to bring their Ide in, which makes their, like, I feel like CLS just adds a massive dynamic to your team, to your account. That would just be the direction I would go because, like, you have this Rebel bundle, so, like, you go CLS, go get Jedi Knight Luke and start going after something like that. Again, just one man's humble opinion. Yeah, I mean, if you're close to Rey, go get Rey. Yeah, if you're close, so maybe you do Rey, CLS into like Jedi Master Luke, because you need Jedi Training Rey, Relic 7 for Rey and JML. So go get Rey, and then kind of flip over to the CLS team and Jedi Master Luke. And even with your CLS, you might not need anything more than Gear 12 on those guys, because they don't need Kyrotech. So you could Gear 12 them very easily. And if you bring them on offense, they'll still beat a lot of stuff, because you'll just get a turn meter train rolling and it won't matter. But I think maybe Rey first would be better. So yeah, Rey first, then CLS. You could Gear 12 your CLS if you want to, but I'd hold off on Relics until we finish Rey. Just get those 2 Relic 7s done, get her tickets on farm, and let's start crushing that. That'd be really good. So, all right. Yeah, God, Chromium 1. There's no way people beat Lord Vader. Or Reva, for that matter. Yeah, Maul, then Rey. I think that's solid. And you do Maul, that's what, however many stupid Kyrotech. But then JTR and BB-8 are only 100 Kyrotech apiece. So then you're saving for Rey, and you only need 700 for CLS. Like, you really don't have, in the grand scheme of Kyrotech, you don't have that much Kyrotech on the horizon, because you're going to be gearing up primarily some of those older characters. So that could really, really help you kind of move through that. So I think that gets us through channel members, right? There's no other channel members that are looking for a review right now. I hope you guys can't hear Zeus eating. I do apologize if that noise is making its way onto the microphone. Because he's a Stugatz. All right, so no other channel members. See a Swiftblade. All right, so with no other channel members, we will move to free reviews. So guys, remember, roster reviews on the live streams for me work like this. We do channel members first. We will prioritize. I'd even go as far as to say, like, mods get a priority for me because they do a lot. They do a lot behind the scenes. They deserve a lot of credit. And then super chats are right there with those guys. And then obviously anybody who's free is first come, first serve. Any other companions for the other Greek gods or only Zeus? So we have Arya is our German Shepherd. She's the oldest dog we have. She's like 105 pounds. Where's she at? She's over there watching over Zeus. So she's the beta of the house. She's the attack dog, guard dog. Like, you do not go near my children, or Ari will come for you. And then we have 3 cats: Dobby, Pippin, and Nymeria. So everybody, like Arya from Game of Thrones, Nymeria from Game of Thrones, Dobby from Harry Potter, Pippin from Lord of the Rings, and then I wanted to name our next dog like Vader. I was like so hell-bent on naming this dog Vader. And we found this husky that was already named Zeus. And it just kind of was, we can't change his name. Zeus is perfect for him. And he literally is like, he's Zeus. Like, he is, I mean, actually, his real name is Bubba Boy. And he's Bubba Boy. Like, that's what we call him, is Bubba Boy. He's just Zeus. I don't know how else to, Bubba Boy is the perfect description of that dog. And from, like, the way my children see them, you have, like, Mama Bear, which is Ari. Like, you do not mess with her babies. Like, I've pretended to, like, go after my wife to see if Arya will do anything. And she'll kind of nip at me and gnaw at me. But one time I pretended to go after Harper, and my dog dragged me into the living room away from everybody else, like, harder than anything. Like, she protects those kids and my wife like she knows her job. It is awesome. I love the 2 of them, and my cats. I love all of my animals, but my dogs are, you know, they are my dogs. Yeah. Anyway, that was a big tangent. Tim Campbell, yes, there's definitely a long line for non-members. So I think Sean Brewer was the first free review. Is Sean Brewer still here? So all that storytelling into, hey, Sean, are you still in chat, my friend? That's the other thing. So, if you are like, for free reviews, you've still got to be in chat to get it. Like, you can't just drop your code and then you've got to be in chat so I can ask questions. So is Sean Brewer still here? Give him another minute or 2 to give him a minute to respond or something. Somebody put 60 seconds on the clock. Din Djarin, yay. I really want to get some of my raid stuff done, but I don't know if that's going to happen tonight. All right, Sean, are we still here, man? Otherwise, we're going to move on down the line. Noah K, are we in chat? Noah K, are we in chat? Noah K. I'm giving you guys time. I am giving them time to respond just so I make sure that we just so we make sure that I don't miss anyone. All right, let's keep going here. Do we have Noah K is there? Noah K is here. All right, cool. It's definitely pretty long. It's definitely pretty long. All right, Noah, so we've got Leviathan at 7-star. We've got Jabba, Leia, Rey, Luke. Okay. Wow. Holy. That's pretty jacked for a 7.5 million account, my friend. We ain't messing around here. Okay, so we've got to get Supreme Leader Kylo Ren next, right? So, okay. So, Noah, you thinking Supreme Leader Kylo Ren? I feel like that is your obvious option here. Okay, so we need Vet Smuggler Han and Emperor Palpatine still. Okay, so you only need those two for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, and then we're farming tickets. So post Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Oh, wow. Okay. It blows my mind how many people have Malicos unlocked with, like, no... I mean, I get it. Like, his team is not cheap on Kairatech. It just blows my mind how many unlocks. I've seen this a lot, where a lot of players have Malicos but do not have Seer and Cal, so they don't have any gear on him. I can't say I blame you, right? Like, I definitely can't say that. So I want to be very sure that I, like, you know, I definitely understand it. So I feel like for you, so I see your Sith trio here, and those would be pretty good options for some relics. Like, I wouldn't mind if we went for the Sith Triumvirate. I also would tell you that Sith Eternal would not be a bad option for you, which everybody's going to laugh at, but, like, are you getting close to Bane, Noah? Is Bane something that you could realistically do? Because you're pretty close to being able to back into Sith Eternal, because you'll have Vader done, you'll have Palpatine done. He needs, like, you do need some higher relics between these guys. But I feel like we could make that happen. Especially because Sith Eternal's characters, they're all pretty... They're not Kairatech intensive. So I wouldn't mind telling you to go for Sith Eternal. So yeah, if you get Bane in a couple of conquests, I don't think Sith Eternal would be a bad option for you. I feel like Bane plus Sith Eternal could be a good option. I don't hate the shout from Teacher Man about using Malicos with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. The only thing there is you kind of lose Hux. Because Hux requires a full First Order team for his unique Zeta, if you're going to use Malicos with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, you're basically stuck with using... Oh, excuse me. Like, you don't want to use other First Order characters with him. Or if you do, it should be ones like... Stormtrooper, maybe OG. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Malicos with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren outside of 3v3 GAC. Maybe that's a better way to put it. But... yeah, I feel like Sith Eternal could be a solid option for you. Because you're very light side oriented. Like, you've got Leia J. You've got the 3 GLs that kind of mesh together, which makes sense to me. So I would think that we maybe go down that path of Sith Eternal after we get Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. And then from there, you're just kind of stuck with whether you go for Jedi Master Kenobi or Lord Vader, and I think realistically we're closer to Kenobi because you don't need the Kyrotech batch. Because you need the Kyrotech batch for Lord Vader. But yeah, I feel like I still think Lord Vader's better. Especially with a lot of these Datacrons. Ship's perspective, he's good. He's got Leviathan, he's got Executor. He doesn't have Profundity, but he doesn't need Profundity right now. So that's another thing, is knowing when you need Profundity. So Inquisitors kind of are the same situation as the Bad Batch. Like, if you're going to go for Inquisitors or you're going to get Lord Vader, I'm going to tell you to go for Lord Vader. It from the standpoint of where this account is at, you're just as close to Lord Vader as you are Inquisitors, so you may as well just go get Lord Vader. If this was a situation where all of these guys were 7-star, wasn't any additional farming to do, we could just start gearing, then yeah, it's let's maybe get these guys before Lord Vader, but like we still have work to do here. Am I saying Lord Vader's better than Jedi Master Kenobi? I definitely think that Lord Vader's better than Kenobi right now. I think Lord Vader is continuing to show that he's a better GL than Kenobi, especially when you factor in game modes outside of Territory Wars and GAC, because JMK loses so much value in territory battles. Yeah, like, I have to manually play my Jedi Master Kenobi battles. I press auto with Lord Vader. Like, I just know Lord Vader's gonna go win. So, yeah, I don't know. I've definitely I'm not of the school of thought of the Lord Failure and crap like that. Like, Lord Vader is a force to be reckoned with. And the people who know that, like Justin, take full advantage of everyone who doesn't know that. And the other side of that equation is Lord Vader doesn't necessarily need Maul to be unbelievably effective. Kenobi literally has to have Commander Tano, or else he's just hot trash. So, hot take for the night. I think Lord Vader's better. I said it. So, yeah, I think we get Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. I think you get Sith Eternal and kind of try and take advantage of that Bane as soon as you can. From there, you're kind of I think realistically you're closer to Kenobi than you are Lord Vader, particularly with like Commander Tano already at Relic 3. You do have Maul at Relic 5 too. What do I think about what do I think about Bane with Lord Vader? This is a great question. So to answer this question, I think I'm good here on this account. I feel like said what I need to say there. Here's the problem. So, in Lord Vader's ultimate, let's first start with his leadership. So, Darkseid have 20% mastery, 20 speed, and 15% max health, doubled for Empire and Darkseid unaligned Force user allies. So, in this situation, just think about this. In this situation here, Bane is only getting half the increases that Empire and Darkseid unaligned Force users are, right there. And then it further states they lose all protection, gain that much max health, right? If everybody is Darkseid at the start of battle, Empire and Darkseid unaligned Force user allies are immune to fear. So whenever a Darkseid ally loses a buff, Empire and Darkseid unaligned Force users gain mastery. So what you're constantly seeing here is that Lord Vader's kit basically ensures you can't use Sith with him. And then the other big side of this is when he uses his ultimate ability, right? It says, hey, he's going to gain 50% of Darkseid others' current mastery till the end of the encounter. Then they lose that much. Empire and Dark Side Unaligned Force users don't lose mastery from this ability. So, in this, when he uses his, the problem here is that when he uses this, like his ultimate ability, he's going to steal mastery from Bane, making Bane worse and worse and worse. So, I don't think Bane synergizes enough with Lord Vader that it's worth it. And the other side of that equation is you're trying to take advantage of the rule of 2, which means you're bringing Lord Vader on offense. So, where are you using Royal Guard? Right? I feel like we don't want to do that. Just my personal opinion. I feel like you're just going to want to use them with Sith Eternal and move on with our lives. So, that's my analysis there. Alright, is Sean Brewer back? Is Sean back? Before we continue kind of moving along here, is Sean Brewer back? I think Bane could be very good with other, because his leadership is for like, 5v5, like 5 extra Sith. So I really think Bane could be good here, and it kind of talks about the way to use him. Where he's going to gain all these additional stats based on their relic amplifier levels. So I think Bane with even just some leftover Sith could do really, really good things. But I definitely think he's designed for Sith Eternal on offense. That's kind of the way I feel about that. All right, so wow, we've got a bunch of you guys. So is Sean Brewer on? Sean, if you're not on, we're gonna move to the Glue. Is the Glue online? Glue, are we in chat? So we're looking for Sean and Glue in chat right now. Sean or Glue, you guys are around. Guys, I want to say Glue is here. Awesome. I do want to say, guys, I very much want you guys to ask questions. Like, that was like, I want to give it, hold on. Let me type this code in here. All right, we've got, hey, would you blow me? Oh my God. Oh, this is hilarious. Oh my God, Glue. I love this. I love this. So, so just like a fun fact, when I was in high school all these years ago, I took this business course, and what you would have to do is come up with customer names. And so, of course, our customer names were Bend Over and Hey, Would You Blow Me and Huge Ass and Alcoholic. Like, oh, it was so funny. So funny. I love it, man. Like, this is great. This brings me back. This makes my heart happy. So you're just finished Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, moving on to Rey next. So we're missing one Zeta. How many Zetas do you have right now? How many Zetas are we at right now? I don't hate that you went for the Finn and Zori Zetas. So you want to do JML. Jedi Knight, Cal Kestis, and Inquisitors. All right, so take Inquisitors off the table. We're too far away. So Inquisitors don't exist to you, right? Just Inquisitors no longer are, they do not exist. They're fairy dust. They're fugazi. So Inquisitors, bye-bye. Just take them off the list. Okay. So Marin was done. We've got Cal done. Saw Gerrera kind of started. Okay. So 1, 2. Okay, hold on. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. So I think we definitely go get Ray. Ray's got to be priority. From Ray, I think I would move to Jedi Master Luke, because he's going to be, from a pure impact perspective on your account as it stands, Jedi Master Luke would be the biggest increase. Like, Starkiller's good, but you're requiring a lot of Zetas, a lot of Omicrons for a character who's primarily going to be useful for you in Grand Arena. JML will do it all. Territory Battles, Territory Warriors, Grand Arena, Conquest. So I think JML has to come like after Ray. Now, you're also really short on Zetas. So this means what you're going to need to start doing is saving, you want to save your Zetas for, how do I say this? You're going to want to start saving for those high level GLs. So like your Rey, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, Jedi Master Luke, let's start saving Zetas for those guys. But I think we go JML right after Rey. And then I think you go Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, with the caveat that you're going to relic Cal Kestis. So you go Jedi Knight Cal, so JML, Jedi Knight Cal, relic Cal Kestis, relic Cal Ripken Jr., because we're going to throw him in your unaligned Force user team with Starkiller. We're going to use him as your unaligned Force user with Starkiller until you build up Visas Mar. So I think we relic Cal while you're building for Jedi Knight Cal. Then, while you're maybe working on some relics for Seer Junda or something, or Cal himself, we're gearing Visas Mar to get her to relic levels. Because this would be my, so I think that's my, so for you, right? We ignore Inquisitors, we go Rey, JML, Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, and then you ask for, and then Starkiller, right? I think we go in that route. So from a Starkiller perspective, here would be my thought. All right, so let's just go here. So this is my team that I use the most often, right? I feel like everybody knows this. Oops, not you. So this to me is my like normal Starkiller lineup, right? Like this is the norm for me. Where things begin to get really interesting is in that unaligned Force user slot. I've seen a couple of things like this. I've even seen you. Like, the unaligned force user, the light side unaligned force user to me, can vary. You could just throw Ben Solo. I've seen people throw Ben Solo in there. I've seen them use Stick Ray or Jedi Training Ray. From an offensive perspective, you're not going to notice. From an offensive perspective, you're not going to notice a lot of difference between any of these characters. I'd say defensively, you'll notice the most. I'd say offensively, you notice it the most with Cal Kestis, where I think Cal on offense makes this team the best, because I think his Zetas help that team keep them alive. But Visas Mar, from a defensive perspective, is definitely the scariest option, because you kind of have to target her before you kill anybody else. Because if Visas gets a revive in there, it's downhill very quickly. So this would kind of be this is what I use in a normal situation, but you can make substitutions. Yeah, Teacher Man, that's a perfect, like, he uses Stick Ray, but he's using it on offense. So he doesn't really, your light side unaligned force user maybe takes, 2 turns in that whole fight? Like, they're just there to keep that unique alive. Like, I don't think I've ever had my Visas Mar actually revive anybody on offense, because I'm using them against Ray, so they just, like, permanently die anyways. And her mods are trash. I really need to fix these. This is embarrassing levels. But anyway, that's my analysis there. I would just, this is the norm. Any one of these characters can slot in here really, really well. Just kind of depends what you have available. So if I'm you, I'm building Cal, relicking him. Then, as I'm working on Jedi Knight Cal, those other unaligned force users, I'm going to put Visas Mar in here, so that way I get to use Seer and Cal with my, with their respective teams. So that's the advice there. So hopefully that makes sense, Glue. I hope that kind of helps you out a little bit. So next, we just got a $5 super chat from our good friend here, Jack, I believe. So we've got Jack. Thanks for all the content. Of course, man. Jump in the list, my friend. We got you. Don't worry. We're going right to you, Jack. Let's get here. So what are we thinking with this account, Jack? What's the thought process? What's the thought process? You got Bo-Katan Mandalore, man. Oh my gosh. 8.2 million with Bo-Katan. Good for you. Wow. Okay. So we've got 8.2 million with Bo-Katan, Star Killer. Holy. All right. So, whew. Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. Whew. You like doing fun characters. Okay. Hey, man. Okay, so let's try and get you sorted here. Okay. Let's go here. Okay, so let's go get Rey. Let's get you Rey. We need Rey. She's super important for an account of your size. That's going to really help. So if we go get Rey, how close are you to Ben Solo? You're wanting to work on Moff Gideon on Monday. So here's my thing. You would need to do 4 relics if you want that Gideon team. Because you're more than likely not going to use Dark Trooper with Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. So you'd need to do Death Trooper, Stormtrooper, Scout Trooper, all to relics on top of Dark Trooper Moff Gideon himself. You do have his Datacron, which makes it okay. You have Beskar Armor Gideon already, or do you have Ben Solo? I want to make sure which one you're saying I have him. Because if you have Ben Solo, then Rey is... Like, I really like the Rey shout. Again, maybe the way to say this. I try to give my advice, not so much from the you're going to have fun standpoint, but from the you're going to thank me in 6 months because you made a really good roster decision. My thought here is you go for Rey because you are knocking on the doorstep of her. You've got almost all the relics you need. We go get Rey. Like you've got your Zori ready to go to get you through phase 1 and phase 2. So you're locked and loaded. You're ready for that, right? Like you're not in any danger there. So we can go get Rey. Don't avoid it. Rey is awesome. She's honestly, truthfully, like if you like fun teams, Rey is probably one of the most fun characters to use on offense. Like I use her in territory battles on offense more than I use my Jedi Master Kenobi. Using her on offense is one of the most fun things you can do, especially if you throw like Commander Tano in there with her. Oh my gosh, it's hilarious. So I personally would go for Rey. I think Rey is your smartest decision there. From Rey, if you wanted to go for Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, I wouldn't hate it. But you're also super close. I wouldn't hate you trying to go for Leia Organa after Rey. I wouldn't hate you trying to go for Leia Organa after Rey. Because you don't have much left there. And Leia's fantastic. So I think that could be a very, very good option there as well. So like Rey, Leia, and you kind of intersperse some of those characters like Dark Trooper Gideon in that way, right? We're a long way from Hot Cartel. So I think Jabba kind of right now, as much as I love Jabba, as much as those mods are great, I don't think it's worth stopping all the rest of the progress you have just for Jabba right now. Because you're approaching that point where you could get, like, think of it from this perspective. Is Jabba better than Rey? Yes. Is having Rey for 6 months while you work on Jabba better? Yes. Like, so I think we kind of table Jabba for now. Focus on Rey, focus on Leia, and then I think you're in a really good position to go for Sith Eternal. Like, you are a Relic 4, Relic 3, and yeah, so you're close to backing in for Sith Eternal too. So I would even throw Sith Eternal in there after Leia. Like, I think you could do really well with that. And if you're gonna get Bane, I would potentially, like, I could be swayed to go for Bane earlier, only because it's a loss. You know, I go back and forth on that. I think that to me would be a personal decision on whether or not you want Sith Eternal first or Leia. But I think Rey first has to be that answer. I'm personally of the mindset, yeah, like if you're, looking at your account, I think you're better trying to go for some Galactic Legends. So I think Rey, Leia, Sith Eternal should be your next big projects. And maybe you work on Dark Trooper Moff Gideon kind of in the background a little bit. But I don't know that I would make a massive push for him right now. That's just my 2 cents from what else you have going on. Because Gideon is really good right now. But as soon as his Datacron goes away, he's going to go be a good character, not a great character. Rey, Sith Eternal, Leia are all going to be great characters for a long time. I mean, from a ship's perspective, you've got good Executor and Leviathan. But yeah, your Negotiator fleet definitely going to get exposed without good things here. So maybe it's time that we start working on those. Maybe beef up that Negotiator fleet a little bit just to give yourself some cushion. And then the other fleet I would really consider kind of making a priority would be your Resistance one. Because you've got all your, like, maybe get the Common Pants up and running. Yeah. Ooh, you don't have a... When are you going to get... When do you get a 5-star Radis? When are you going to get Radis 5-star? Because that's a requirement for Rey. But yeah, your Galactic Republic fleet needs work. Take Plo Koon, get him to like Relic. Get him to like Gear 8, Gear 9, and he'll be fine. And then just farm the Y-Wing. You're going to need to farm it. It's so important to this fleet. I mean, Marauder's really good too. And that's kind of the thing that sucks. But even without the Marauder, Negotiator's still a very, very solid fleet. So, yeah, man. I think that's your path forward for me is you need to really build. I don't know that you need as much width in your account. You need to build some height. You need to build a bunch of GLs. Because you've got... Like, just for 8.2 million, for the sake of argument here, you have a Maul, you've got Malgus, you've got Bo-Katan, Mandalore, General Grievous, Star Killer, our King, Traya, Shorty, Phoenix. You have a lot of width as it is, but you don't have that height. So, again, just my personal opinion, man. Take that with what you want, but... I very much appreciate the $5, my friend. I hope the review kind of helps you prioritize your future farms. Because I try my best to give you the advice that isn't always the most fun, but what I think the most helpful. So hopefully you can take some bits from that. But please, go get your Rey, Sith Eternal, Leia, and kind of get that Galactic Republic fleet up and running where you can. Because it's not a lot of resources, to be fair. It's not a lot. Like, you don't even need a crew on this ship. You need Gear 8, Gear 9 here. So, I appreciate it, my friend. You help make this channel a better place. The Glue just joined channel memberships, my friend. Thank you so much. Make sure you join. If you're a channel member, guys, make sure you join that Discord server. And then link your Discord and your YouTube together. My mods can help you guys do that. And you'll have access to the members only section of the Discord. We've got a lot of good stuff going on there. So if you guys want to give me 1 second here, I'm going to take a quick, need a little bit of a break to kind of get some fluid out of my system. And then we're going to move here to Dakota Hanukah with the $5 going for the next review. So thank you guys. Give me like a minute or two here while I take care of some business. Give me 1 sec. All right, Dakota Hanukah, we are back. Of course, guys, yeah, so just so you guys make sure, if you are super chatting, joining channel memberships, you jump the line. Like, you just go straight to the top of the line for roster reviews. So yeah, like that does not turn into if you have time. Like, if you join channel memberships or you super chat, like, I will make sure to get your roster review in. That's just, I want to make sure you guys get that. Like, I would not, and if I somehow couldn't get to you, I would either give you a DM, I could next live stream or something. I would make sure that gets done. I want to make sure that gets very clear here. Like, I'm not just going to sit here and say, oh, you've got to put money in and hopefully I get to you. Like, I will make sure I do your review, because that is, it's, you know, like, to me, this is not it's an exchange of, hey, you're asking me for help and I'm trying to give it. So I just want to throw that out there, right? So we have Dakota Hanukah here. So if you have time, just finished Executor and Sith Eternal Farms, looking to finish Ray and going for Gungans. Let me know your thoughts. Okay. So you are 6.2 million. So you're farming, I'm assuming you're farming Sith Eternal tickets right now. That would be my guess. Okay, all right, so we're stuck on gear. We have him, we're stuck on gear. Okay. So let's just take a look here. So we did buy some Lightspeed bundles for the Resistance. Phoenix looks pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. So we have the... Okay. Huh. All right, so I'm gonna tell you. Oh wow, wow. Ooh. 7-star boss Nass makes my, oh my gosh. Okay. So Dakota, I'm gonna give you a very, I'm gonna be as blunt with this as I have to be. If you are willing to continue to spend money, you can go for Gungans. But if you're not willing to spend the amount of money you spent for Boss Nass on every other Gungan, then you can't. Like, with Gungans, it's either an all-in or it's nothing. You can't say, oh, I'm going to whale on Boss Nass, and then the next one I'm going to go free to play. Like, you've got to, if you're going to go for Gungans, it's a commitment of money right now. I don't, and I will never tell you that you should buy packs, and I will never tell you that you shouldn't, because that is your own personal decision, and I have no business making that decision for anybody. And if I've ever told you that you've felt forced by me, I apologize. Like, it is not my position to tell you to buy packs. So I would only go for Gungans if you're committed to spending that money on every single one when they come into the game. With that said, you are extremely close to Ray. Yeah, if you're committed to it, I don't hate going for Gungans. Like, I will be perfectly honest with that. I don't hate you going for Gungans if you're committed, because I think they'll be a very good investment for a while, and they will probably, so, like, I wouldn't hate you go, if you were like, hey, I'm gonna whale on every single Gungan that comes in the game, I'm perfectly fine with that, if that's what you want to do. But that also means that your gear is going to be primarily, that means you're going to have a lot of Gear 13 gear and like Carbonis and core gear, because the Gungans will primarily take up your Kyrotech inventory. So you're going to be able to obtain a lot more of those core gear pieces, which means potentially trying to get some of your resistance up, right? Kind of get some of these guys slowly. I'm also looking at your rebels, and we've got a lot of the Jedi Master Luke characters kind of close. So you could get Captain Han, Rolo, easy gear 12s there. Easy gear 12s. Mon Mothma take Kyra, so we don't want to go quite down that route yet. But I think you could put yourself in a really good position if you're really focused on trying to get for Gungans, that you could kind of build up some of these older characters to gear 12 in preparation that, okay, I just got Darth Jar Jar, now I'm going to move on to something else. So that could be a very good option for you. But I definitely think I don't want you to discount that you bought these light speed bundles and we want to take advantage of them while like that stuff is still hot in your account. But there's no way I can ignore that. If you're willing to do this, man, like, go for it. Take them to the moon. And I was on the Three Scoundrels and Cantina podcast the other night, and I can't remember if it was Bones or Old Man Logan, but one of them brought up a really good point that, like, Boss Nass has a territory war Omicron, and he goes, I guarantee you Jar Jar is going to be GAC. That, like, they're going to spread those Omicrons around to make sure Gungans are good in every single game mode. And I think that's very reminiscent to me of, you look at the unaligned Force user team with Seer, Cal, Malicos, like, that's good in both Territory Wars and GAC. You look at Jabba the Hutt, he's got a Grand Arena Omicron, and he's got Territory War Omicrons in his team. So I think they're trying to trend in that direction to make sure that everybody's good in everything. So, yeah, man, if you're committed to Gungans, I'm all for your Gungans. And they're going to be amazing in the raid. Absolutely amazing in the raid. And if you want to focus really heavily on the raid, I would not hate if you tried to push to get Queen Amidala out of Conquest. I don't know at 6 million if you'd be able to do it via the max crate. But I would wager to say that with what you have, you can probably get through and at least get box 6. I'd be shocked if you couldn't get box 6 in a Conquest. With the right help. And again, if you're going to purchase the passes, which again, I'm not saying you should, but giving the information that if you are, that makes it even easier that you can get Queen Amidala. So that could be another option there, just kind of giving you all the stuff I can. But I think Rey, from a Galactic Legend perspective, I think Rey should be a really, really big one. And I think that your next one needs to be either Leia or Jedi Master Luke, just based on where your resources are concentrated. And the nice thing with somebody like Leia and Jedi Master Luke is they kind of go hand in hand together. You're kind of far from Hutt Cartel, so that one doesn't make sense for me. For Galactic Republic, Lord Vader seems a very long way away. Kenobi, not so much, because it looks like just relic levels. But, again, I think, to each their own. So, yeah, I think we get Sith Eternal. I think we look at Rey. Because you have Sith Eternal now, so you can get Sith Eternal. Then I think we look to Rey, Jedi Master Luke, Leia, as you're kind of continuing to think about those Gungans. That would be my advice for you, buddy. And then I just want to look at your ships and see where we're at. So you have Finalizer, okay, Executor, Negotiator. So no. So are you, Dakota, and are you farming Malevolence right now? Are we getting that to 5-star? Are we trying to unlock that? Is that kind of like the thought process here? And the other thing I'm looking at, I do like that you have TIE Defender already. That's a solid. TIE Defender's a solid. But I would think about getting Malevolence at some point. I feel like that can really, really, really help you. 35 shards in. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I just want to check. Okay. The other thing you could potentially do here is I would at least get her to like gear 8, level 85, throw some garbage mods on her, and get the TIE Interceptor. And that'll at least open up some different counters for you. So that would be the other thing you could do. But, yeah, man. You know, if you want to go down that route, I'm more than happy for that. I would just make sure that you're still... I think the biggest thing... Justin brought up a good point. Like, ships could really help you. I think you just make a very good effort to focus on some of these ships. Getting them to level 85. Getting them as 7-star. Working on a few of the gear here and there. And that will take you a very long way in this game. So that's my advice there, Dakota. Yeah, I think if you want to go Gungans, that's great. You know, just keep on that path. But go get your Sith Eternal and then start thinking about your Rey, JML, Leia, what order you want to go there. And just kind of work on that stuff that you maybe don't need to spend as many Kyrotech, since you've got a lot of that coming up with those Gungans, if that's what your plan is. So, you know, any other, before I, you know, hop off to the next one here, any other questions, my friend? I want to make sure I got you I want to make sure that you feel that was, you know, any other thoughts you got. All good. Oh, no problem, man. Thank you. Appreciate it, my friend. Awesome, buddy. Yeah, keep it. Yeah, Dakota, make sure you stay. Like, I want to see this account. Like, you got to keep us updated, man. Every single month. Like, hey, new Gungan or this or that. I'd love to see the progress on the account, man. I love to see that. All right, so we have another channel member here. We've got Madus just joined on the council. Madus, drop the ally code, my friend. Make sure we drop that code. We need to see that code if you want a roster review. I loved it. I want to make sure that we get that squared away. And then I did see that Vince V is in chat. I think Vince V, I saw that. Vince, I saw you in chat, my friend. Hold on. Vince, where are we at? I know you were in here somewhere, Vince. I know I saw it pop up. There it is. Okay. All right, Vince, let's take a look at this. I know I tried to message you on Discord. All right, so Madus, I'm going to get to you right after I get to Vince. So Vince was asking, Vince, I think this is about JML, right? So Vince is another channel member here. So, okay, so yeah, with JML, I don't hate if you could get a good protection mod up here. I feel like that, like, you have a Relic 9 JML, 128,000 isn't bad at all, right? Like, I don't think that's a bad amount of protection on a JML. Just from a, like, just for perspective though, my JML at Relic 8 is 10,000 less. I would get 20,000 protection just from the increase. Kirsten Hedlund, I'll review your roster. You need to start an account. Oh, gosh. My wife is in chat. This is not a good sign. You guys need to tell her that this is soda number 1. But Vince, so I think I would put a protection arrow up here instead of speed, especially because you don't have a speed set. So just to be clear here, like at 515, you're not outrunning any of the major galactic legends, right? Like, yeah, I guess you guys wouldn't know that that's my wife. That's my wife. You're not outrunning any of your major, for Lord Vader counter, honestly, you want more protection. You want more protection. What does Lord Vader have? So we got a speed set on here. Protection. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't switch because Lord Vader doesn't have enough. Personally, I don't think he has enough protection. So, yeah, if you want to, I would say with your JML, if you want to successfully counter Lord Vader, you definitely need more protection on him. Because the speed is nice on him. You definitely could use a little bit more speed, but to be fair, you're never going to, even if you got like my speed on mine, just for the sake of argument, I've got 530 and I have a speed set. But that's also with a protection arrow. So if you move this to protection, like, I think you'll be a lot better. Kirsten, you best not be saying stuff like that, because people are going to be, Kirsten, you best not be saying that. People are going to be expecting that at 10,000, and like, that's going to make subscribers jump like crazy if you're promising a Slave Leia cosplay. I'm just saying. God, I'm gonna have to turn this into another kind of social media experiment. Yeah, Vince. So let me do this, Vince. Let me see something. Hold on. So let me show you guys a trick here that I do all the time. So I'm gonna teach you guys some knowledge here. Let's go to this here, and there we go. Okay, switch to here. So what I want you guys to do, so you see this mini RHL, but you see Belgian Rebellion up here. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go on Vince's Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes profile. So if you're ever curious how to look somebody up, excuse me. So like, you search the guild, you literally just like type the guild name in Google, right? You can find their GG, and then you just look for their profile name, right? So like, I literally just searched on Google for their name, right? It pops up, you open it up, and then you scroll down to the account that you're looking at. So for him, it's the mini Real Margos. And then I'm going to check your mods. So let's go here. So mods. And then we're going to do this. Come on, thing. So we don't have a ton of great mods here, to be fair. Like, nothing crazy, but I would say for you, I'd look at either Stormtrooper Han or this one on Zalbar. I think those... so I think for Vince, I think I would put one of these on JML, but we got to slice it up. Like the one on Stormtrooper Han has a better chance of rolling. Like you're already at 12 speed, so it might help. But the one on Zalbar, I feel, has far better secondary stats. Because you're looking at, like, so the speed, defense percent, the flat protection is going to boost him, and then the offense can be nice. So I don't hate these here, but I think you've got to do one of those two mods to JML. Slice it up, get as much speed on it as you possibly can, and that would be my new JML mod. That's just the way I'm looking at that. I think that's our best option. So, yeah, man, that would be how I would mod your JML. I would take JML and I would put more protection on him, because if you do want to counter Lord Vader, JML needs a lot of protection, especially if you're not going to have a lot of speed. He needs a lot of protection. So that would be my advice there, buddy. Otherwise, I think you're in pretty good shape. So, Vince, does that make sense? Oh, hold on, guys. Hold on. All right, let's make sure. Let's see if she's willing to take the bottle here. There you go, sweet pea. All right, yeah, so Vince, at the end of the day, I think the best thing for you is if you want to try to get your Jedi Master Luke killing Lord Vader, we need more protection on him. Especially if you don't have that speed. Like, mine isn't much faster than yours, and I'm out about 10,000 protection, so I'm losing roughly, what, 6,000 damage per special. So, I think if you put a bit more protection on him, it's just going to be even better for you. That's just the way I'm looking at it. Because I think overall, most of your mods are pretty good. Like, you've got really nice speed for not having a speed set on him. So I think you just really need to get more protection on him where you can. And that Lord Vader counter gets even easier. The other thing I would say, a bunch of my early videos would really maybe help you understand how to beat Lord Vader. I think one of the biggest mistakes players make when trying to beat Lord Vader with Jedi Master Luke is they don't bring in the right team. Like, you need to bring in a pretty good team to beat Lord Vader with JML. Like, don't feel like you're wasting a character like Jedi Knight Revan and Jedi Knight Luke and Hermit Yoda and, Shock T. Like, that's my normal team to beat Lord Vader. And that sounds quote-unquote expensive, but you think that team will beat Lord Vader and Ninth Sister and Royal Guard and Maul and Darth Vader, and, like, it beats really, really good Lord Vader teams. So I don't think it's this, like, a waste when you're beating a team of that caliber. Just my personal opinion. I know other people will say differently about Lord Failure, but yeah, put some respect on Lord Vader's name. So Vince, that'd be my thought process for you. And if you're gonna get, like, Jedi Knight Cal Kestis coming up, like, that's even better. Jedi Knight Cal's really, really good. Yeah, like, you trust me, if you go on, like, I mean, they're really early videos, low quality in terms of, like, it's my phone, I'm recording on my iPhone, but I will kind of walk you through my Jedi Master Luke versus Lord Vader battle, and you'll kind of see the thought process there. Yeah, the Doubtcron definitely makes it harder, but it's still possible, right? I'm not going to say it's easy. It's still possible, but it's a lot harder, and you're going to need a lot more protection to get that done because you won't have that turn meter gain that you get even when you don't have damage over times. So, just my personal advice there. All right, so I'm going to get to Madus here, and then I think I am going to... I'm going to call it a night here because Charlie being awake here, I want to make sure she gets back to sleep. So, Madus, let's get to your review, my friend, and then I'm just going to call it here, gentlemen. So, let's get up to Madus. All right. It's all right, Char. Just give me like 5 minutes, and then you get Daddy all to yourself again. Okay? All right, sweetie pie? I know. All right, let's get down to Madus here. So, Madus said, going after Leviathan and planning on Profundity next. Take Zori up to Relic 5 during the break between Leviathan and the next project. Okay. So let's just see where we're at with Leviathan here. So we need Sith Marauder up. We need Empire Trooper Maul. Okay, so we need some good relics here from a Sith perspective. Okay, so Zori still needs some good work. How do our Sith ships look? Okay, so Madus, so I'm gonna throw a wrench in your plan here, but you're gonna understand why. So you don't have a Mark 6 Interceptor at 7-star yet. So you're still a while away from from Leviathan. I think a much better decision would be to go and relic your Zori, because, and just hear me out, you don't, like, if you went and take your Darth Maul to relic 7, those relics could have gone on Zori, and now you have a relic 7 Maul that you can't do anything with because he's not that good of a character, and you're just kind of stuck there waiting around to finish off your Sith Fighter and Mark 6 Interceptor for the Leviathan. So one of the biggest, and this is I don't want to say a mistake, but like this is a really good opportunity for you guys to learn something. When you're coming down to that question of should I relic X character or should I keep going for my farm, ask yourself that question of what all is going into it. If you were in a position where all of your Sith ships were 7-star, and so the only thing that's keeping you from getting Leviathan is relics, then yes, like go straight to your Sith, ignore Zori. But because you're getting stopped from getting a Leviathan by the ship shards themselves, I think you're much smarter going after Zori, relic her, and come back and finish off these guys when you have their ship shards completed. And that would also go, like, with your, like, thinking about profundity here, I think you're in a far better position to go get profundity before you would get Leviathan, at least from a ship perspective here. Where I think you'd maybe struggle a little bit more is the gearing side of things. You need still some character shards, but, like, looking at a Relic 9, Relic 8, compared to the progress you've probably made on your Sith, where you've already spent those Relic 9s. So my advice would be go get Zori, relic her, maybe relic your Sith, that like your Marauder and Empire Trooper, and if you're in a position, I'll say this, if you're in a position where you still are short on ship shards for your Sith, but you've got them all to relic levels, I would honestly tell you, like, if you have all your Sith characters at relics and you still need shards, start gearing your profundity characters. And that order for me would be go like Adrad, Jin, Cassian, because those three kind of form a really good team for 3v3. They kind of form that team for 5v5. And then, you know, you go for some of those other guys. But I think if you're really far behind on the ship shards, you could almost... I don't want to say that I think you made a mistake with the Relic 9s on Darth Revan and Malak, because they're good characters. But if you could have caught me sooner, I would have told you that you put those relics into Adrad and Cassian and Jin, and you'd have profundity far sooner than Leviathan, because you don't have those Sith ships. So just, and it's a passion, and you said it's a passion project, so that's fine. I'm just going from the like efficiency standpoint. You'd probably be in a spot where you could get profundity really, really soon, while we're still probably, I mean, realistically, you're a couple of months from Leviathan with how many shards you need, unless you're refreshing. So, again, just one man's opinion, but from a, like, otherwise in your account, you've got Rey, Kylo, Kenobi, so I think I saw that you probably purchased the Rebel Lightspeed bundle, so maybe thinking about when JML, Jedi Knight Luke, Leia Organa, those kind of characters make sense. So it looks like JML could make a lot of sense for you, because we've purchased the bundle, you know, we purchased the packs. You have Jedi Knight Luke already. I think you could be in a really good position to go get Jedi Master Luke at some point. So that could be a whole nother option for you. So just some food for thought, right? I mean, I think both Leia and Jedi Master Luke could be beneficial, but particularly I think Jedi Master Luke, because you'd need Drogon and Captain Rex, and I'm not seeing them in the account. Doesn't mean you don't have them. But yeah, man, I think you're, you know, you've got the right, like, you've got some really good ideas in terms of, like, you're getting ships is so incredibly important. I might have switched your order a little bit, but I definitely think JML could be really good for you, Maticus. I feel like that's a GL that you're really close to, kind of goes in line with that Jabba kind of situation. But with all of that said, guys, I think before I go off, Maticus, any other channel members, do you guys have any other questions? Because I think I am going to probably call it here just so I can get Charlie down officially for bed. I did get to streaming a lot earlier tonight, so I do feel pretty good that I got in a solid, you know, quote-unquote solid shift here. But before I go, does anybody have any last-minute questions, something like that? You know, I am here. Again, I try to do everything I can to answer the questions you guys have. But I can just tell somebody's very, very, very tired. I'll give it like a question, another, you know, minute or two for any last minute questions or channel member comments before I probably just call it a night here. I do appreciate just getting my exit out of the way. I appreciate all you guys hopping on here. Sorry it's got to kind of come to a premature close, but you know, tell you when Jedi Knight Cal is coming back. When Capital Games decides to make him come back. That's my CG answer. When they decide. No, guys, I very much appreciate all you guys. I don't get to do roster reviews as much as I'd like to. I love getting a chance to help you guys get as much out of your account as you can. Havoc, how does channel membership work? I just have different levels that you join at. I've got to kind of update the descriptions to really reflect them, but basically, the higher level you join, starts opening up some doors, right? I mean, like those top tier guys, they get they get a little bit extra stuff. You know, when they ask, things change, right? So it's just, you know, it's all dependent on what you want, but you get access to members only section. You've got questions. You can just DM me throughout the month and things like that. You know, like you don't need to wait to get a roster review on a live stream. You just say, hey, Phil, like, what should I do next? And I can go into your account and take a look as a channel member. You know, one of the other perks, like some of the guys will probably tell you from a channel member perspective, I start to remember your account a lot more because I'm seeing it every day. I'm seeing the progress you're making. And so it's easier for me to give you that advice because I'm so in touch with what's going on. But I mean, it opens up me doing Galactic Legend events. You want me to do your, you know, help you with Riva, Kaidi Mundi, WAP missions, whatever, that kind of things open up. So, always around for stuff like that. So you guys just gotta, you know, just make sure with those things, I normally ask that you just kind of help work around my schedule a little bit because obviously as a father and having a full-time job, things can get a little bit busy. So try my best to balance all of that stuff. But yeah, guys, thank you again for... Oh, dude, Havoc, the channel memberships are always, like, there's a link in below, like, in the description of every single video that goes out. There is a, there's a, like, link for channel memberships. So, with that said, guys, I'm gonna go put this one, get her to sleep here. I love you all. I very much appreciate all of you guys. You are fantastic. Channel members, make sure you join the Discord server, link them together, tag them out if you need help. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your night. I love you. I'll see you in the next video.